Oh, no way, Carter. Look, it's lights out, they locked down. Well, you want me to lose my job?
Man, I'm the one that got you this damn job. You better
Coolest man on the planet.
Jeez.
Anyway, he had been a recording session up at Columbia.
Your return ticket, please. No, your return ticket. Your... yes.
If I close this down, I will close it down right now. Good luck. It is a dirty world out there.
I admired your strong words during the campaign. I only hope they will be paired with even stronger action.
And she ran a Shakespeare company I was in. And, you know, she would give a note and then she would say, you know what, I didn't explain myself well enough. Come by tomorrow at 3 and I want to talk to you in depth about it. So for an hour, we would talk in depth about the character and we talk. And one of the things she said to me, she said, well, you know, I think you're a very talented actor. And one day you may even be a great actor. But that can't happen for many years to come.
70 years old, 6'2", and Hollywood still hasn't put his name on a marquee. But here is the thing. His face has been in your living room for over 30 years, and you've probably said the same thing every single time you saw him. I know that guy. The man delivers scenes that trained actors spent entire careers chasing, and yet most people couldn't tell you his full name without reaching for Google. That changes today. Stay with us, because by the end of this video, we're going to reveal the truth behind the ancient identity he borrowed from history thousands of years before he was born, and the secret about how late he actually started that will make you rethink everything you believe about timing and purpose.
Don't look back. Just go.
Trust us, you are not ready. Barry Joseph Henley was born on September 15, 1954, in New Orleans, Louisiana, a city drenched in music, culture, and a kind of gritty, beautiful chaos that has a way of shaping artists. His mother was a dance teacher, and from the time he could walk, little Barry was tagging along to recitals, sitting in the back of studios, watching bodies move in sync with rhythm.
Mother was a dance teacher.
Yeah.
And so she, you know, they did everything. Ballet, jazz, modern, Afro-Cuban, Afro-Haitian, West African. They did everything. And she had the records.
He didn't know it yet, but he was absorbing something: the language of performance, the discipline of presence, the understanding that an audience's attention is earned, not given. When Barry was still a child, his family packed up and moved across the country to San Francisco. It was a city of reinvention, and for a young black boy from the South, it offered something rare: a stage.
In those years, and also being my formative years, they, you know, informed who I am and helped shape the person I am today. And I'm grateful for all of it. I mean, I'm grateful for being born in Jim Crow America. I'm grateful for that education and that understanding that I have of, you know, the culture that we live in.
He enrolled at San Francisco Polytechnic High School and found himself drawn toward anything creative. But the moment that actually changed everything, he was 17 years old. He heard that the Encore Theater was looking for a specific type. Someone handed him a script, and honestly, Barry looked at it and decided it wasn't for him. He did not think he was the right fit. He wasn't going to bother. But then something happened on a bus ride, somewhere between 45th and Quintara to Mason and Geary, that rewired everything. He later described it plainly. It hit me. I guess this guy wants me to memorize this stuff. So I memorized it on the bus. That one bus ride, that one moment of reluctant decision, that is where the career of Barry Shabaka Henley quietly began. He spent the next several years working the stage, hungry, disciplined, committed. He joined the San Francisco Mime Troupe, one of the most respected political theater companies in the country, and performed under a character called Fact Wino. He was building something, sharpening something.
The fact that I'm in the first generation of African-American artists and workers in the film and television industry as a workforce. And part of what the success of that for me has been is that I've been able to establish contacts early on, and I've treated people very decently from the beginning, and some of those people that were working in so-called underling positions are doing the hiring.
But here is where we need to pause, because this is the first secret we promised you. Barry Henley made his first professional on-screen appearance At the age of 37, in an industry that tells people they're washed up at 25, this man was just getting started when most people would have already grieved the dream and moved on. His debut came in an unsold television pilot called Clippers, and nobody outside a network conference room ever saw it.
It was my first big job in television. A pilot for Eddie Murphy's company, a pilot called Clippers, about a barbershop, oddly enough. And in that cast was John Amos, Cecily Tyson.
But he didn't stop. And that relentless refusal to quit is the backbone of one of the most quietly extraordinary careers in Hollywood history. By 1998, things were shifting. That year alone, Barry appeared in How Stella Got Her Groove Back as Buddy.
Now, if that rumor is true, I'm here to put the P in paradise for you.
And then landed a spot alongside Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker in Rush Hour as Bobby.
I need to see Cloud Cobb, man.
Oh, no way, Carter. Look, it's lights out, they locked down. Well, you want me to lose my job?
I think I was also played a small role in What's Love Got to Do with It, with Angela and Lawrence and
Costello.
How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
I forgot about that. People,
They remember.
I try to forget about it, but
Two films in the same year, both becoming cultural touchstones. And still, most audiences didn't know his name. They just knew the face. They knew the presence. The man who walks into a scene and makes it feel real. But here is the cliffhanger we need to plant right now. Because what happened when director Michael Mann finally got his hands on Barry Shabaka Henley is a story that deserves its own spotlight. Hold that thought. We're coming back to it.
No, your white privilege is still accepted here in Nigeria.
Like a platinum card.
In 2001, Barry appeared in Ali, the biographical drama starring Will Smith, playing Jabir Herbert Muhammad. The film demanded real gravity. This was a story of one of the greatest athletes who ever lived, and every supporting role had to carry weight. Barry carried it.
the film that I was most excited about was Ali. Oh, and being a lifelong fan of Ali,
Right.
because we were able to we spent almost 6 months working on that film in 3 countries.
Wow.
And it was pretty amazing. We shot in Mozambique, Maputo, Mozambique, for about 2 months.
And then just 3 years later, in 2004, something remarkable happened. Steven Spielberg cast him in The Terminal, the Tom Hanks film about a man trapped between the borders of 2 countries. Barry played Officer Thurman, a customs officer who represents the quiet, institutional face of a broken system. Spielberg doesn't cast small. He cast Barry.
Staying at the Ramada Inn? Keep the change.
Also in 2004, Michael Mann, the director Barry would work with multiple times throughout his career, cast him in Collateral as Daniel, a jazz musician living, as the story tells it, on borrowed time.
You know the folks in Culiacan and Cartagena?
Rachel.
I just when I thought you were a cool guy.
The scene between Barry and Tom Cruise is nothing short of devastating. A man who has spent his life in music suddenly confronted with the fragility of that life.
I think as an actor on film, that's probably my favorite piece of work also to do, and the result and the process. It was, that for me was I felt like I had arrived.
Critics noticed. Film students still study it. And Barry delivered it with the kind of quiet, devastating specificity that only comes from decades of discipline.
Hey, Slick, don't try and shine me on. You don't have the time or the skill.
In 2006, Michael Mann came calling again for Miami Vice, where Barry took on the role of Lieutenant Martin Castillo, a role that fans of the original television series considered untouchable. Barry made it his own. That's 3 films with Michael Mann, the director who is famous for precision, for demanding absolute authenticity from every actor on set, kept coming back to Barry Shabaka Henley.
Ali, and then we did Collateral together, and then we did Miami Vice. the movie, not the series.
That is not a coincidence. That is trust. Now, here is something most people miss about Barry's story, because while Hollywood was slowly starting to take notice, the theater world had already crowned him. Over the course of his stage career, Barry earned the Drama Desk Award, the Obie Award, and the Olivier Award. Read that again. The Olivier Award, the British equivalent of the Tony, one of the most prestigious theatrical honors in the world. He won all three. And in 2016, he received a Joseph Jefferson Award nomination for his solo performance in Satchmo at the Waldorf, a one-man show where he portrayed Louis Armstrong in his final days.
Oh my God, this is an amazing piece of theater written by my good friend Terry Teachout. A shout out to Teachout, who's out in New York.
One man, one stage, one of the most complex figures in American musical history. And Barry Shabaka Henley held that theater in complete silence. On television, the resume only grows. In 2015, he appeared in Better Call Saul, the critically acclaimed Breaking Bad spinoff, playing Detective Sanders across 3 episodes. In 2017 and 2018, he became a recurring presence in Bosch, the Amazon Prime crime drama.
He's got to break the right way. Still, this looks good for you up there.
As Terry Drake, a character woven into the show's complex moral web across 7 episodes. And then 2019 arrived, and everything changed. When Bob Hearts Abishola premiered on CBS in 2019, Barry Shabaka Henley stepped into the role of Babatunde Tunde Olatunji, Uncle Tunde, and the audience fell in love.
You have a secret weapon.
What's that?
Me, Tunde.
The show, created by Chuck Lorre, centered on a Nigerian-American family navigating love, culture, and belonging in Detroit. And Uncle Tunde was its beating comedic heart. Over 5 seasons and 86 episodes, Barry brought a character to life that was layered, warm, hilarious, and deeply human. This was the role that finally put a name to the face for millions of viewers.
Well, unfortunately, I don't watch a lot of television, but the quality of it is top shelf. All the way down from the producers, creators, Chuck Lorre, Gina Yashere, Al Higgins, who's executive producer and showrunner. From top to bottom, it's just an amazing experience. Everybody's proficient.
Now, here's the moment that stopped us in our research. The Television Academy sat Barry down with his co-star, Billy Gardell, and what Gardell said in that interview caught us completely off guard. He described how the two of them bonded not over the script, not over fame, not over a shared agent or industry gossip, but over jazz, a deep, shared obsession with jazz music that neither of them expected the other to have. Gardell said Barry had a way of making you feel seen, the same way great jazz makes you feel seen. And now the second secret, the one we promised you at the beginning, the name Shabaka. Barry Joseph Henley did not choose that name lightly. Shabaka was a pharaoh, a Kushite ruler of Nubia and Egypt during the 25th dynasty, who reigned from 721 to 707 BC, over 2,700 years ago. A man who unified an empire and left a mark on one of the greatest civilizations in human history. Barry Henley looked at that name, looked at that legacy, and said, "That's mine. That is who I am choosing to be." Not just an actor, a carrier of something ancient, something earned, something that demands to be taken seriously. That is not a stage name. That is a declaration. Barry Shabaka Henley's personal life reflects the same intentionality. He is a married man and the father of 1 child, though he has kept the details of his family fiercely private, a rare and almost rebellious act in the social media era. In 2007, a profile in SF Gate found him staying at a remote 40-acre home in Virginia with his wife and their then 3-week-old son, fielding a nervous phone call about his career while surrounded by the kind of quiet that Hollywood people dream about and rarely achieve. He has never let the industry take his peace from him. That is a deliberate choice, and it speaks to the character behind the craft. As of 2026, Barry Shabaka Henley's estimated net worth sits between $3 and $6 million, a number that reflects not a single breakout moment, but a career built brick by brick, roll by roll, across more than 3 decades of consistent, principled work. No overnight fame, no viral moment, just a slow, steady accumulation of a body of work that cannot be argued with. And he is not slowing down. Right now, in 2025, Barry appears as George in Forever, the Amazon Prime television series where he carries a recurring role across 6 episodes.
A boy.
No.
A girl.
No, but progressive.
He also appeared as Blanche Bruce in Death by Lightning, a mini-series in which he portrays one of the most significant and overlooked figures in American political history, Blanche Bruce.
Played the long game just to get my name on a piece of paper.
one they won't be able to deny.
A formerly enslaved man who became a U.S. Senator from Mississippi during Reconstruction. 2 projects, both demanding, both worthy of his gifts. 71 years old, over 30 years in the game, 3 major stage awards, a pharaoh's name on his lips, a family kept sacred and out of the spotlight, and a career that keeps climbing, not because Hollywood finally figured it out, but because Barry Shabaka Henley never stopped showing up with everything he had. There is a lesson in that, a real one. If this story gave you something, a new level of appreciation for the actors you've been watching your whole life without fully seeing, drop it in the comments. And if you want more stories about the unsung legends who built Hollywood from the ground up, hit that bell because we are just getting started.